What would you do if strange things in your house started affecting your health? That's exactly what happened to Rosanna. But she isn't the only one. A man who just moved into a new home discovered strange activity haunting even his dog. Meanwhile in Japan, Dachan and Gachin entered one of the most haunted buildings ever. And what they captured will shock you. And finally, a chilling midnight encounter. A family saw a woman crying on the side of the road. But when they called the police, the truth was terrifying. Rosanna had been facing terrifying events inside her home, which began to take a serious toll on her mental health. Fearing for her children's safety, she sent them to stay with their father. But one night, around 2 a.m., Rosanna was startled awake by strange noises coming from the hallway. Determined to prove she wasn't imagining things, she picked up a camera and went to investigate. What she captured that night is truly chilling. A door suddenly slammed shut. Rosanna rushed to check the room, but found nothing. Moments later, a drying rack inexplicably slid toward her, as if some unseen force meant to harm her. Yet, this was nothing compared to what would happen the next night. Late again, she was jolted awake by her daughter's voice calling out, but her daughter wasn't even at home.
C'est pas possible, ça marche pas. Ça marche.
Something was mimicking her daughter's voice. When Rosanna cautiously approached the room, chaos erupted. Drawers slammed open and shut on their own, and a radio suddenly switched on even though it had no batteries. Then the voice calling her grew deeper, more adult, no longer sounding like her child. Rosanna reached out to a priest to bless the house, desperately hoping to rid it of whatever dark presence was haunting her. If that fails, she's prepared to leave the house entirely. But what do you think? Is this home truly haunted, or could it all be an elaborate hoax? Share your thoughts. A man who had recently moved into a new home with his family began noticing strange occurrences throughout the house, especially in the basement. One quiet evening, while watching TV, his dog started acting strangely, growling and staring at the basement door. Nervous and curious, he went to check, but what he encountered shook him to his very core.
What's the matter, buddy? What's the matter, bud? What's the matter, big guy? Huh? Something down there. Oh. What'd you hear, buddy? Just put this in. What's that? What the f***?
As the man opened the basement door, a shadowy figure darted across the room. Unaware of its presence, he cautiously descended the stairs. Suddenly, the eerie cry of a woman echoed through the basement. At the bottom, he froze in terror. A shadowy figure stood motionless, staring straight at him. Overwhelmed, he sprinted back upstairs. The next day, determined to confront his fears, he returned alone. And as you might expect, what happened next was truly terrifying.
Windows locked. Nowhere for anybody to hide. Stand back here. Move around. Windows locked. Bars are in there. Bars. Just up there. Doors locked. Non-stop.
While investigating the basement, he suddenly heard the sound of running footsteps above him, even though he was completely alone in the house. Rushing upstairs to check, he captured something that will leave you utterly shaken.
If you want me now, man, take me. I'm leaving. Tired of this.
The moment the man announced he was leaving, a deafening series of bangs erupted from every corner, as if the walls themselves were alive with rage. The noise intensified, frenzied, and the doorknobs rattled violently, as though unseen hands were desperately trying to keep him inside. One terrifying truth became clear: the entity wasn't just haunting the house, it was determined to trap him there, no matter the cost. So, is this house truly haunted by a restless spirit? Or could something far more sinister be determined to keep them trapped inside? In the end, the choice is yours. Ghost hunters Dachan and Gakken from the YouTube channel Clip Store ventured deep into the forests of Japan to investigate the infamous ghost apartment. 30 years ago, this building became the scene of a tragic conflict between a young tenant and the landlord. The dispute ended in horror. The woman took her own life, and the landlord mysteriously vanished. Ever since, residents reported hearing voices, shadowy figures, and strange sounds echoing from empty rooms. One by one, everyone abandoned the building, leaving it to rot in silence. Now, Dichan and Gakken step inside. As Gakken enters the landlord's room, something terrifying unfolds.
てか多分ほらオーナー男性って言ってたでしょ。うん。これどう考えても離れってもうオーナー宅じゃない？っていう。確かにね。うん。ただちょっとお互いその見つけた部屋を調査す。何の音今の？ん？え？何の音？
もしもし？
誰？
So, Gaston suddenly hears this low moan coming from the room, and when he looks up, there's a woman just standing there, staring at him from the second floor. Terrified, he makes his way upstairs to check it out. But the second he steps inside, things take a really dark turn.
大ちゃんちょっとこっち向かっててもらっていい？
ああ、分かった。
すみません。すみません。
大丈夫？
When Gakken gets upstairs, he notices this old vanity table. Out of curiosity, he looks into the mirror, then suddenly, he sees the feet of a woman standing right behind him. Shocked, he spins around with the camera, but there's no one there. Completely terrified, he bolts out of the room, struggling to process what he just saw. A few moments later, Daesan arrives and finds Gakken trembling with fear. At that point, they'd had enough and quickly end the stream. But what do you think? Was this really the restless spirit of the woman who took her own life, forever tied to the room where her story ended? Or is there another explanation hidden in the shadows of this haunted apartment? The choice is yours. So, this woman and her family were driving back home from a trip in Belmont, Michigan, and then, out of nowhere, something on the side of the road really caught their attention.
What the
Stop.
No,
Stop.
I'm not. No. Hell no.
What the dude?
Bro.
They were soaked.
Okay. There she is. There she is. There she is.
Bro, what the See? That was it. That was it.
She's crying.
So, in the middle of the night, they notice what looks like a woman on the ground, swinging something over her head. Freaked out and worried about her, they call the police. Deputies rush over, and when they get there, she's on her hands and knees, soaked, just completely motionless. The next day, still shaken, the woman decides to go back to the spot herself, trying to figure out what actually happened.
Yep, she had to have come up out of the water. Yep, there's a dig spot there. So she came up from down there. That's had to have been why she was so wet. This was the spot that she had left. I don't know why or what was going on.
But here's the really creepy part. When the police investigated, they discovered that this woman wasn't just some random stranger. She was actually a missing person from Kalamazoo, Michigan, over 60 miles away from where they found her. And get this, she had no memory at all of how she even got there.
So what it actually was a missing woman from Kalamazoo that ended up in Belmont. She doesn't know how she ended up there. She doesn't remember anything, and she apparently fell into the river. That's as much information as we got.
So, how did she end up there? No memory, no answers, just a chilling mystery that may never be solved. What do you think really happened? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our scary stories. Stay safe, and keep watching, if you dare.